This is really our first trainee science communication award. These are times that, as Bridget just mentioned, that are trying and they're difficult and they're uncertain, and we're experiencing a large number of challenges to both our discipline and our ability to actually execute science. And I think it's more important than ever for all of us to make and redouble our efforts to communicate the importance of what we do, not just to the general public, but to the people that are actually going to own that future down the road, who are our children, our young people, and the rest of the population that is actually going to carry out the work ahead of us. And so this was established last year by the SDB Board of Directors, and it is sponsored by the SDB Professional Development and Education Committee. And it is aimed to recognize great science communication and outreach efforts by undergraduate student, graduate student, or postdoctoral members of the SDB. And I'm not going to say much about the recipient today. I'm going to let one of the letters of support for her nomination to speak to you as to why this award is so richly deserved. And I'm going to read it to you. I am 14 years old. I have been a part of Nerd Squad since I was 7 years old. Squad has and always be my family, will be my family. Through the years, I have become more confident in myself and my studies. I love science, and the way we learn and teach math and science makes the subject easier to understand. Nerd Squad is life. I know when I'm around my friends or those we have worked with and they see the logo, they know I'm a Squad and I am a nerd. That is a huge compliment. I have been with Squad the longest, and I am proud of that. I know with the support of Nerd Squad, I will be better off as I go through high school and college. I love Miss Sissy, Cagney, and Squad. This is a 14-year-old young lady that has found a way to love and embrace and be embraced by science. And so our recipient of award today is no longer Miss Sissy. She is now Dr. Sissy, Dr. Coomer from the University of Kentucky. And Cagney, if we were in the same room, I would be very pleased to hand you with this award. But unfortunately, we're going to have to do it virtually. And the SDB office, i.e. Ida Chow and Marcia, will be able to mail you this award, which I hope you put in a prominent place in your future lab. So without further ado, Dr. Coomer, thank you very much for being here, and congratulations on this award.
Can everybody see and hear me?
We can.
Okay, let me start screen sharing. First of all, I'd like to say thank you. I'm not quite Dr. Coomer yet. I have till next Friday, and then after next Friday, then you guys can proudly call me Dr. Coomer, and I won't have anxiety about that, but we're not quite there just yet. So just one more, oh man, one more week, literally. Okay. I want to thank the organizers of this meeting and the society for this award and the opportunity to share my work. I'm more overwhelmed and excited to have my work recognized in an academic setting, because typically it's categorized as humanitarian work. And although I do think it's rooted, it has humanitarian roots, I feel like in fact it is academic work, and it is my contribution to academia. I pretty much live like two lives. I live my academic science life, and then I live my science outreach life. And even though my science outreach is directly influenced by my experiences as a Black woman in science, I haven't always had the opportunity to fully merge them. As the climate changes, I hope that academia and scientists see the true value of this work and see the true value of outreach. And I'm really excited for the possibilities of the future. As a Black woman scientist, I find myself in spaces where I'm either the only one or one of three. This makes it extremely hard to build community and belonging in these spaces. I started Nerd Squad long before I was actually a graduate student, when I was working as a lab tech. And even though I was a practicing scientist, I still couldn't even see myself and draw connection to the fact that I was a scientist. And so I started Nerd Squad to give space for me to actually build community and normalize science and scientists in my community. Nerd Squad is a STEM nonprofit that is designed and facilitates culturally responsive STEM curriculum. And if you look in this picture here, here's like maybe half of Squad, but it's composed of about 25 to 30 Black and brown women and girls who are interested in STEM. They range from professional scientists and engineers to our youngest, who's a fourth grader, and she's an aspiring forensic scientist. Nerd Squad has three very main missions. Mission number one is to empower brown and Black girls who are interested in STEM. Mission number two is to design and develop culturally relevant STEM curricula. And mission number three is to engage schools and the community in hands-on STEM activities. Mission number one, empowering the squad, which are the girls that I mentioned at the beginning. Squad is ranged usually from 4th grade to 12th grade. And what we started by doing is creating a safe space for brown and Black girls to come together who are interested in STEM. It gives them an opportunity to share their interests with each other as well as learn from each other. We meet in a bi-weekly fashion where we come and we expose them to a multitude of STEM fields and STEM mentors. What I learned when I very first started is that for most of the people in my community, I'm the only Black scientist they know. And I'm really proud about the fact that when it comes to my Girls on Squad, that's not the case. I've had the opportunity to expose them to a plethora of women from all colors, shapes, and sizes who have a variety of interests in all kinds of STEM fields. And I think the most important part of what we do when it comes to empowering our squad is, if you look down here in this bottom picture, is that we actually work together with the squad to design the curriculum. And then they go out into the community and they are the mentors and they're the experts and they get to talk about the science and they get to share with the community and the people they care about what they're interested in. It's a way of not only normalizing science and roles of Black women in science, but it also normalizes it for our whole community that they get to see this. The second mission is to develop culturally relevant STEM curricula. Basically what we do is we choose a general STEM topic and then we unite both academic and career examples that are actually relatable for our audience. So like for this year for our All Girls STEM Club, we decided to use our general topic be biochemistry, and the career that we connected it to was cosmetic chemistry, because what 6th to 8th grade girl doesn't know about getting their face beat and having lip gloss that's popping? Like that's what they do, right? So we could use examples like L'Oreal, but we wanted to take a step back and actually use an example that they can actually relate to. And so we used Erica Douglas. She's a biochemist who started this organization called Sister Scientists. She designed and develops cosmetic products that are focused for brown and Black women. I thought this was a great way for them to see somebody who looks like them doing something that they can actually relate to. Because the point when we design our activities is to incorporate the science, but focus on the career so that these girls can draw a direct line from the things that they experience in life to the science that is working in the background. Our next mission is mission number 3 is involving the community in unique hands-on activities. When we decide that we're going to have a Nerd Squad event, actually the way that we start is by thinking about the barriers to participation and making sure that we overcome those first. Usually our main barrier is transportation. So we always think about when we're going to have those events. Are we going to have those events in the evening when parents get off work and they can bring them? And if we're asking parents to take time out of their everyday life and their everyday schedule to bring them there, are we going to make sure that we can accommodate by feeding them so that when the parents leave there, they can just continue on with their day? Or are we going to have an event that's in the middle of the day when parents can't come, and then we need to provide transportation? We also have to take a step back and think about how long will it be between when they leave our event and when they see their parents again. Should we provide a meal for that gap? We want to make sure that that the girls leave our events with full bellies and full minds, right? So those are like the main things that we start with. And then from there, because most of our activities are geared towards girls, we like to focus on designing activities that push them out out of their comfort zone. We like to do things that society consider boy ideas that girls don't normally have the opportunity to experience. And one of the things that's gotten really famous on Twitter is we host this Be Bold conference. We help host this Be Bold conference. And we invited all the female mechanics in our city to come, and they taught the girls how to change tires and change oils. It changed their oils, and we recruited cars from the single moms in our community, and we provided this service to them for free. And I mean, they're middle and high school girls, so at the beginning they weren't that interested in getting dirty. It was actually the enthusiasm and the excitement from the female mechanics that drew them in. And by the end of the day, you have all of these girls excited, covered in smut, covered in oil, running all around, can't wait to tell their parents all about the things that they did. When we design these activities, we always make sure that the activities are completely hands-on. We come in, we set the stage, we put the materials down, and then we allow the students to take advantage of their own mental capacity. The point is to create an environment that is conducive to critical thinking and give the students a chance to actually explore and use their imagination and understand what it is to be a scientist. And so that's usually how we design and develop our curriculum. The work that we do is really great work. And I think that it's so impactful because it's built on these two main things: consistency and building community relations. When we start a program or start a collaboration with any kind of organization or school, we come at the beginning of the school year and we stay until the end of the school year. We come every week, and then at the end of every activity or every collaboration, we host community events where the students get to share with their families and the community the things that they've been working on all school year. We also build community relations because we get invited to a lot of stuff. And a lot of these events, they don't really understand what it takes to have a STEM activity there. And so sometimes the platforms aren't conducive to doing STEM things. But the way that we've designed and developed these activities is that we're allowed to bring STEM to any platform and give all people opportunity to experience the things that we do. When it comes to impact, I think that one of the major impacts is that we generated real community interest in STEM and STEM education. When we first came here, when I first came to Lexington, type on the slide. When I first came to Lexington, there were students only got science in 4th and 6th grade because that's when the city had they've standardized tests for it. But because we've been inside the school buildings and we've generated such an interest, now STEM is an elective in all elementary schools. So they get STEM in the same rotation with math, reading, and art. Also, Squad contains about 45 plus brown and black girls ranging from the ages of 25 to 10. And right now we have 6 college students, 2 heading to college, and most of them major from everything from ag to pre-vet. I mean, I could talk all day about how amazing Nerd Squad is. Honestly, I feel like you should hear it from the words of somebody on Squad.
Nerd Squad, and what Nerd Squad really helped me to do was develop my social skills and help me learn to have fun and relate with other girls who are interested in the same things as me. Also, I would love to give a big thanks to Miss Cece because she is one of the people who helped me really come out my shell and one of the people who really made me develop and think more about myself and what I want to do. So thank you so much.
And finally, why do I think outreach is so important? I feel like outreach is a scientist's direct action against the issues that plague us. If we're not building us a future, then there won't be a future. It's our job to go out in the community and to inspire the next generation of trainees, get them excited about the things we do so that when it's time, they are actually ready to step up and take over the work that we are so passionate about and that we've dedicated our lives to. Secondly, I hear a lot of talk about how we should have more scientists as politics. The only way that we could do that is if we stop thinking about science in a vacuum of our lab benches and start encouraging and inspiring our trainees to go out and think about the humanitarian issues of the world and how what they do impacts those issues. I think that as scientists, we're intelligent people. People think that we're intelligent, and sometimes we think And because we're intelligent, people should just believe what we have to say. But as scientists, we have to go out into the community and build momentum and get them excited about the things that we have to say. We have to prove to them that the work we do is important and valuable to their everyday lives. I mean, if we really think about it, even heroes have to save somebody before they're considered heroes, right? So we have to do the same thing. And finally, one of the most important is science communication skills, right? For a 6th to 8th grade girl, it is really hard to convince them anything is exciting or important. And so if you can take your science and actually communicate it to a little kid and get them excited about what you do and show them why it's so important, then you have real communication skills. Most people only understand science, most lay people only understand science at a 4th to 6th grade level. So learning how to communicate it in that way draws in a lot more people, gives a lot more people a chance to really understand what we have and what we're doing. Finally, thank you for allowing me this opportunity to talk about Nerd Squad. I've never really talked about it in front of this many people, so that's really exciting. If you want to follow us, we have Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. I'm gonna say thank you again and stop screen sharing just in case anyone has any questions.